I'm just saying, anything could happen.
We don't know.
We literally don't know. This is a time capsule. Just so you guys know, this week, so you have some cultural reference and context, is the week that Barbara Streisand accidentally commented to Melissa McCarthy, did you take Ozempic?
Right out on Maine, on Instagram.
Right there on the main page.
So for us, it just happened yesterday, but for all of you, we're saying, remember the time Barbara Streisand just said, give him my regards, did you take Ozempic? Right to Melissa McCarthy in the comments with all the commenters.
I mean, I felt bad for her.
Whoopsie.
It's a real whoopsie.
Hello.
How's it going, everybody?
How's it going?
How's your summer? Is it hot? Is it hot out? You know, I listen to Chani Nichols.
Yes,
of course. And, she records her horoscopes like months in advance.
Right, because we know where the stars are going.
The stars are the stars, you know?
Yeah.
So sometimes she's like, so I don't know what's happening right now in the world, but I do know that this is what is going to be going on. Anyway, guys, we are recording in the past for you right now. I have to say, Caissie's tried to do a nice thing. We're at Casa Kismet, and she's trying to clean the scale, like lime scale, out of my water drain, for the water thing.
The water
filter
cooler?
Water filter cooler thing. It has like that like drip tray.
Yeah.
And then it's like all scaly. And so she's like, I'm going to clean this out for Busy. And so she just put vinegar, and it smells so overwhelmingly like vinegar in this apartment right now. I walked in and I was like, oh, okay. Well, something's amiss. I don't know what's going on. And she's like, I'm trying to do a nice thing.
Well, is it nice, or is it that I'm like, I probably spilled water in this thing, so I have to.
No. This has been a long time. This is a long problem. This is that water scale. Actually, I just noticed on the back, because I was trying to reset something on the water cooler filter thing.
Yeah.
That there's a way to clean out the whole system.
Oh, the coils and...
Yes, but I don't know how to do that. I mean, I could, but I just forget. I forget.
We'll figure it out.
But we do not need to put vinegar through it.
We should... When I was a kid, my step-grandparents, they used to own like a hot dog stand, and then it went out of business because... I don't know, hot dogs went out of style.
That seems crazy. I'm such a huge fan
in that part of town, but they brought the soft serve ice cream machine home, like a restaurant sized soft serve machine. And part of the cleaning protocol was like running bleach water solution through it to disinfect it, I guess, so you don't get killed by
the bacteria.
Soft serve ice
Which
cream
is
bacteria.
when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to eat soft serve. So
right.
I apologize to anyone who's listening right now who might be pregnant and it's the middle of summer and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't have soft serve. What are you talking about, Busy? Because as you know, 2 summer babies I had, and all I wanted was damn soft serve, and they're like, do not do it, you could get listeria, don't do it.
No soft cheese, no soft serve, no,
you can get a bacteria. And it was just like, you know what, just let me have some nice things.
Such a bummer.
Anyway,
I feel like I feel like they were putting full strength bleach in there and they were never getting it rinsed all the way out. So I feel like I
hear that.
I just
ingesting little bits of bleach.
Yeah. And then I was like, is this unhealthy for me? Is this, it's probably, I don't know. Whatever.
Didn't Trump drink bleach during the pandemic? Wasn't that a thing that was happening?
I think that he did mention injecting bleach
into your eyeballs.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either. I'm just saying, anything could happen.
We don't know.
We literally don't know. This is a time capsule. Just so you guys know, this week, so you have some cultural reference and context, is the week that Barbara Streisand accidentally commented to Melissa McCarthy, "Did you take Ozempic?"
Right out on Maine on Instagram.
Right there on the main page.
So for us, it just happened yesterday, but for all of you, we're saying, remember the time Barbara Streisand just said, "Give him my regards. Did you take Ozempic?" To write to Melissa McCarthy in the comments with all the commenters.
I mean, I felt bad for her.
Whoopsie.
It's a real whoopsie.
I went through all the scenarios where I was like, did she mean to just say it? But there was like a lack of punctuation. So I was also like, was it a voice to text type of situation?
Babs.
But she said, did you take Ozempic? Not did she take Ozempic?
Yeah,
so
did
it wasn't something that like
right.
Barbara accidentally was saying to someone who was, in her inner circle.
100%.
But then I was like, did she mean to DM it? But also like, is that like how frank of I don't know how close Melissa McCarthy and Barbara Streisand
But that might be how
are.
Barbara rolls with everyone.
Yeah,
she might be
just like
they might not be close. Maybe Barbara's the type of person where she's like,
did you get a new
I'm
face?
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
I can ask whatever the fuck I want to whoever I want to ask it of. In whatever way.
Woo!
Ever.
That was wild. But remember the time when that happened back in late April of 2024, whenever you're hearing this?
In the future.
In the future. This is just FYI, so we can take a few weeks off in the summer.
And I can be with my family, and they don't have to always say that my work is more important than them. AKA just one of my daughters. I think you can guess which one.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, so we asked you all to write in if you needed advice on anything.
And listen, granted, is it 6 months later? Yeah.
Yeah,
Close.
and you probably already solved the situation yourself.
But maybe this will help somebody else. Like, for instance, that, whoever's pregnant out there that was about to take a lick of a soft serve maybe just saved you from getting listeria. I don't know.
It's true.
We don't know.
Busy, your neighbor across the way just put down their shade because they didn't want to watch us do the podcast.
Well, that's fine. Is their yappy dog yapping it up over there? Because I can't with that fucking dog.
The window that we watched the Super Bowl through, they didn't put the shade down when we watched the Super Bowl through their window. So I can't be mad that they don't want to watch us do the podcast.
It's so funny because it's my old apartment that we're looking at.
Right.
That is the weirdest part.
Right.
Is that I literally am in my new apartment looking at my old apartment.
Yeah.
I wish I had both. Is that weird to say? I wish I had kept that one and gotten this one.
Yeah.
And then I would have you could live there always.
Here.
And I could be here always.
That would be good. It reminds me of one time we went on a cruise, like a Nickelodeon family cruise.
Wow.
Speaking of things that we remember. And it was because I worked at Viacom. And so they gave us like a super duper deal to go on a Nickelodeon family cruise because it wasn't sold out.
Yeah, it sounds nice though.
But then
if your kids are little.
Yes.
A cruise is nice I do have to say that one Disney cruise where the kids were little and they were just so happy and taken care of. And Mark and I were just drunk the whole time. And it was so fun.
It was so fun to do. But even better than that, even better than getting like a super duper discount because the cruise wasn't full. When we checked in, they were like, "Oh, you're a Viacom employee?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "We still have some empty rooms." And we were like, "Okay." And they were like, but we only need like the rooms that we got. And they were like, "Yeah, but they're so small. Do you want an empty room to just like put your bags and stuff in?"
Yes.
And we were like, "Okay." So we had a little room that we could just go and fetch our outfits from. It was very luxurious and wonderful.
I love that.
It It was good times. It was good times. And I did just go sit in that room sometimes just to get a moment's peace.
I cannot believe the Tony Noms came out.
Oh, but I mean, we probably know who won by now.
You guys, we definitely do.
Back in April of 2024, the Tony Noms are just coming out. And I've been trying to get tickets to Oh Mary every day with no luck. But by the time you hear this, it'll be on Broadway.
Wait, also, why don't we just ask Cole?
Well, I figured Cole is busy, so I didn't want to bother Cole. I was just trying to get tickets. But
I feel like they would be happy to.
It's real popular. Oh Mary, I'm hearing it's the best thing.
It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Anyone's ever.
It's the best
seen.
thing I've ever seen.
Anyway, we're just reminiscing about April.
Reminiscing about April.
Are there any surprise Tony Noms?
I don't know. I didn't. I just saw. I just saw one. Oh, I'm wondering, did our friend Alex Edelman get nominated?
Oh, that's
Let me look. Paulson got nominated.
Oh,
which
love
obviously.
you, Sarah Paulson.
And you know what? That show is so good.
Yeah.
It'll be closed by now, guys. So sorry you can't see it.
I love Sarah Paulson because every time I've ever met her, I've been so hammered.
Oh my God.
What?
Jesse Tyler Ferguson and Renee Elise Goldsberry read the nominations.
Oh, that I knew was going to happen.
I didn't know that.
You're just finding out
I'm just finding out
in the summertime, but I knew that way back in April.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Because I saw it last night.
2024, Yaya's African Hair Braiding Best Play. Mary Jane, which is just opening, starring Rachel McAdams, now written by Amy Herzog and directed by Anne Kaufman. Apparently, this is like a brilliant play, and one of my best friends was maybe supposed to be the lead of it, but couldn't because of a scheduling conflict. Okay. Mother Play is supposed to be incredible as well. I want to see that. Guys, Prayer for the French Republic, never even heard of it, but it's nominated. Okay, Stereophonic. I literally love Stereophonic so much. Hell's Kitchen, Illinois. Yes! The Outsiders is supposed to be good. Suffs is supposed to be great. Water for Elephants. What? How is that new? I thought Water for Elephants. I thought that came out like forever ago.
I mean.
Okay. Well, anyway. Wait, I'm trying to get to. I don't know. Here Lies Love is supposed to be great. That's David Byrne and Fatboy Slim. I want to go see that. You know me. Also, Stereophonic. Will Butler. Shout out Will Butler. He's the brother from Arcade Fire.
Oh, right.
Here's an interesting story, guys, about Will Butler. I saw the very first show that Will Butler ever played in with Arcade Fire. He was in...
Oh, wow.
Because he was in high school when his brother started Arcade Fire.
That's very cool.
And he graduated and I think was in... Mark would remember, you know me. I can't remember exactly if it was that he had graduated from high school and was joining the band or graduated from college and was joining the band.
Okay.
But it was the best concert I've ever seen to this day at the Hollywood Bowl. It was David Byrne.
Wow.
With a very young, very new Arcade Fire opening.
Very cool.
It was an incredible show.
It was historic.
It was historic. And they introduced Will Butler as like my little brother, who's now going to be in the band.
Amazing.
Now, I guess the other guy is maybe a little bit kind of canceled. But
speaking of historic, have you been into your bathroom in Casa Kismet?
I have, but why?
Did you see what was hanging on the shower curtain?
No, was I?
Go look.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Listen, guys, whether you're, going to the beach or you're traveling or you're hiking or you're just staying put, you're definitely bringing your microbiome with you. That's true. That microbiome, that's going with you.
She's always with you.
She's with you. The 38 trillion bacteria that live in and on you, especially in your gut, are essential to whole body health. Don't we know it? Well, Seeds DSO1 Daily Synbiotic benefits your gut, your skin, and your heart health in just 2 capsules a day.
I love capsules.
Capsules.
And they have a super cool capsule design. It's like a capsule within a capsule to protect all of the good stuff inside. You know I love stuff like that.
Well, you love all of the stuff because you love that DS-01 doesn't need to be refrigerated.
Thank God.
You know that it helps with digestion and regularity.
And I'm going to be shallow. Helps with skin. That's for me.
But we know that like the gut is the hub. That's where like all of the pathways of the body. I just feel like we didn't know this, but we have to acknowledge the fact that we got to take care of the gut.
Yeah.
Well, I just said to Caissie right before we started doing this ad, I was like, I left my seed at home because I didn't have my travel seed thing with me. I know. I
would have brought you some.
I know. Well, will you? Because I might just come to your house and get it. Because my gut has been a little weird since since I've been here. And I went to my physical therapist though, because my lower back was hurt. Like it felt like I like maybe tweaked something working out or whatever. And then he was like in my stomach, basically, like on my psoas muscle. And he's like, are you having digestion problems? Because that affects, are you hearing what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
My digestion issues affected my muscles in my stomach that impacted my lower back.
Right.
So like all I'm saying to you is that like
it's all connected.
It's all connected. And we love Seeds, that capsule and capsule design that Caissie mentioned. It means that all 24 strains of bacteria survive that journey from shipping to right to your door through shipping down your esophagus into your belly and then into your gut. It is incredible. There's no synthetic or chemical coatings and no refrigeration, like I said. They go the extra mile. They test their probiotics in Chyme, the closest system developed to model human digestion in the gut, to ensure 100% of the dose is delivered to where it needs to go. They've had clinical trials and breakthrough research published in top scientific journals. Seeds probiotic research and development make DS-01 a product that we can all trust. And not only has every ingredient been tested individually in scientific studies for their safety, dosage, and benefits, the DS-01 formulation as a whole has been evaluated in not 1, but 2 clinical trials. And probiotics and prebiotics work best when you use them consistently, like every routine health habit. You have to stay consistent to see those benefits. And Seed offers a subscription service that easily builds DS-01 into your routine. So support your gut this summer with Seed's DS-01 Daily Synbiotic. Go to seed.com/best and use code 25BEST to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off your first month of Seed's DS-01 Daily Synbiotic at seed.com/best. Code 25BEST.
We love you, Seed.
I am not going to lie, Caissie. You know my least favorite part of traveling?
You're away from Helix.
Haven't been sleeping great.
Oh my God.
Well, I really miss my mattress. Listen, guys, I don't know what to tell you. Get it. Get a new mattress. Get a Helix mattress. I'm just going to be bossy now.
Yeah.
It's enough. Get your Helix mattress on.
We've been telling you for years.
And if you haven't gotten one yet,
now is the time.
This is it. This is it. I'm telling you.
It's hard enough to sleep, so why would you not make it the best case scenario?
Helix offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections. They've got the Helix Plus, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers. They have Helix Kids mattresses designed for growing bodies and endorsed by child sleep experts. How do you know which Helix mattress model works best for you and your body? You're going to take a little quiz. You're going to take the Helix sleep quiz. You're going to find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes, and then that mattress is going to be shipped straight to your door free of charge. And guess what? You get to try it out for 100 nights. And there's a 10 to 15-year warranty to get to try out your new Helix mattress as well. Everyone's unique. Everyone sleeps different. Helix knows that it's important to have customized mattresses for lots of different types of bodies and sleepers. And that's why they have all these different mattress models to choose from for specific sleep positions or feel preferences. Models that have memory foam layers to provide optimal pressure relief if you sleep on your side, or more responsive foam to cradle your body for essential support in your stomach and back sleeping positions. Enhanced cooling features if you are overheating at night, ladies. And if your spine needs some extra TLC, they got you. Every Helix mattress has a hybrid design combining individually wrapped steel coils in the base with premium foam layers on top. It is a perfect combination. You guys, it's the best we have.
And you deserve it because you spend many hours in bed, hopefully. And you really just need to take care of your body.
And sleep is the thing. You got to reset yourself with good sleep. If you don't want to take our word for it, Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wired magazine. It's recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. And now Helix is offering up to 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for you, our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/best. That's helixsleep.com/best. This is the best offer yet. It's not going to last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Where did it come from? How did you do it? It was not $400.
It came from Louisiana.
And it wasn't $400.
No.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Oh my God, you guys. Wait, did I talk about this on the pod?
I don't think you talked
No,
about
because
it.
it's gross. Because I was literally debating a $400 t-shirt, and that's embarrassing. But I was, also having a moment, you know how I get, guys, ADHD. I'm like, whatever, can I get the serotonin? How do I get that lift?
Yeah.
And I was at the Manhattan Vintage Fair where I got some great stuff this year. But I saw this Prince t-shirt, a vintage Prince t-shirt that this woman had, and it was $400. And I really wanted it. And also I was like aware that is absolutely outrageous. And so even in my moment of like wanting the serotonin, I was like, you are not allowed to buy a $400 t-shirt.
Of course.
For a myriad of reasons.
Right.
The biggest one is that is a stupid, there's no t-shirt in the world that's worth $400.
Right.
I don't believe.
Right. I mean, it's the 40-year anniversary of Purple Rain this year. And so I figured that probably also had something to do with adding a premium to that t-shirt. And it is a pretty rare t-shirt. It's not common.
I was really drawn to it. I really wanted it. and I truly regretted not getting it, even though, but didn't regret it because obviously.
Right.
I didn't regret it.
Right.
Because that's $400 for a t-shirt. That's stupid.
But you still wanted it.
But I wanted it. I did want it. Anyway, guys, this is very exciting. So Caissie found, I knew also, I do want to say this. I did know that I had to go to the source.
Yeah.
AKA you.
Yeah.
About this said t-shirt, Prince shirt. If I was going to buy, I just knew that if I was going to buy a Prince shirt and I didn't consult you, chances are it would have been a mistake.
It would go awry.
It would
somehow.
go awry.
Yeah.
So you got it. You found it for me?
I found it for you in Louisiana.
Really nice. This is really nice. I'm going to wear it today.
Oh, yay. I'm glad
really
you like
excited.
it. I'm glad you like it. It was in great shape. The seller was very kind. It is rare, so it wasn't whatever.
It wasn't $25.
It wasn't $25, but it was not $400. I think it was very fair. What she was asking for it, considering what it is. And we talked about it because I was also like, there's a chance that the estate will recreate this t-shirt and re-release it in celebration of Purple Rain, but you wanted the vintage one.
I
You
love
wanted
a
one that, yeah.
vintage.
So
I like a worn in
yeah, I understand.
vintage. Here's a question that we're going to put to you all. What's the most you would spend on a t-shirt?
One time when I worked at Watch What Happens Live, I won't say the name of the person, but our team was very small.
So you can figure it out.
So you can possibly figure it out. This person that I worked with,
Andy Cohen.
No, it wasn't
okay.
Andy Cohen. It was actually before Andy got to work late at night, because he would like stroll in after he was finished with his day at Bravo to like do the live show at nighttime. One of my colleagues fainted, possibly had a seizure, and like dead away on the floor. And it was very alarming. And I, of course, kicked into mom mode. This is like long before I ever had too much experience with this kind of thing happening. But I just remember that like some people ran to like call an ambulance, and some people ran to be with the person suffering the incident. And I remember somebody said their t-shirt is too tight around their neck. We should take off the t-shirt. And that roused the person from whatever incident they were having. And they were like, don't stretch out my t-shirt. It was $200.
Oh my God.
And I went from being like so concerned for this person and the incident that they were going through to also being like concerned for their financial health. Because I was like, I have an idea what you make, and I don't think you should be spending $200 on a t-shirt.
We're pretty sure that's not great, guys.
But I love how this person was like 100% incapacitated, but like somebody mentioning that we should take off their t-shirt was like smelling salts to them. They were like, wait a minute. I'm still going through this, but please don't stretch out the neck of my t-shirt. I love it.
Funny.
And it was $200.
It's kind of funny. Well, this t-shirt is incredible. I'm trying to think what the most I've ever spent on a t-shirt was. I actually think I did spend $200 on a vintage, like a really rare Elton John t-shirt.
Okay.
Once.
Okay. I think the most I've ever spent was, you know who Beth Ditto is?
Of course.
From the band The Gossip. She had a fashion line at one time that was like plus size clothing. I loved every single thing.
She was amazing.
She is amazing. I would have bought every single thing Beth Ditto put out. But she made this t-shirt that was like a t-shirt, but kind of like a dress, like it was dress length. And the graphic on the front was Madonna's bustier from the Girly Show tour. And the Gautier.
Yeah, I remember this shirt.
Yes. And then the back also has the like a decal. A decal is that like an iron-on of like the back of the corset, and it has actual like the ribbon like actually applied to the back of the shirt, so it looks like a real corset, but it's just anyway, that's the most expensive t-shirt I ever bought. I think I paid like $130 for that t-shirt, and it's been worth it for just how upsetting people find that t-shirt. Like some people either love that t-shirt or they hate it. And some people, like when you wear it, some people are like one time a random straight older man on a plane was like, I was wearing that t-shirt with like Spanx leggings, like the lizardy leggings, and like Doc Marten boots, and this like older straight guy on a plane. I assume he was straight. He was giving like straight vibes. He was like, you look so adorable. That's like the most adorable outfit I've seen in forever. And it was so funny to me because I was like, you are such a straight guy vibes to just be telling this like random girl that her outfit is adorable. And he like wasn't being creepy or whatever. He was just like moved to comment that he found that outfit adorable, which was hilarious to me. But then other people, when I wear that t-shirt, sometimes people act like I am just walking around in lingerie and like I'm not fully. And I'm like, I think your brains are broken.
Yeah, people don't understand things sometimes.
Like it's a picture of underwear
Yeah.
on a shirt.
Yeah.
But it's also like a giant shirt that goes down to my knees and the sleeves go way past my elbows. And
you know what I'm also always like the only thing that I like if you were wearing it with naked leggings.
Yeah, that might be like
That might be
woo-woo.
something. But
Yeah. But their brains are broken. I would never, I'm never bare. I'm a never nude.
You're a never nude. We know this about you.
So yeah, it's really weird. But just like the idea of a picture of underwear on makes people lose their minds sometimes. And I'm like, I think that's a you problem and not a me
I think it's
problem.
a them problem for sure.
I don't know exactly what the problem is, but also I'm not going to waste time trying to figure it out.
Well, let's talk to some people. Let's give some advice. Let's give some 5-month-old advice.
Yeah, which you're all probably already over.
You're over it.
But maybe it'll help someone else. Okay, so the first one says, I know that you both have experienced more than your fair share of grief over the past year and a half, and I'm truly sorry. Last Friday, my dog, that term does not capture the depth of love I feel for him, succumbed to cancer. I had him for 11 years, and he was my baby. I'm grieving, but finding it very challenging to cope with my grief. Do either of you have any advice on channeling your grief in healthy ways? Love and light from Kendra. Kendra, first, so sorry about your dog. That's too soon. To like 11 years isn't long enough with a puppy.
It's so hard. Like part of what I think is so profoundly difficult about losing a pet, especially, is that their love is always unconditional for you.
Yes.
And for some people, it's the only time they really experience unconditional love.
Yes.
In like a very true way. Oh no, I'm going to cry. And it can really bring you to your knees because it like causes you to sort of question all of life.
Right.
In that moment. And it does get easier over time when you lose a pet, I think. So you're going to be now 5 months out, but maybe somebody else is just losing a pet right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that allowing yourself to move through it is the best way and cry and like feel where the emotion is in your body and be really gentle to yourself. And like, you know, I've been doing this like sort of like more somatic therapy recently.
Yeah.
And I will say that like, I know this sounds so weird, but when I do some of this like just very gentle movement, focusing on like a part of my body, like standing hip with your feet hip distance, with your eyes closed, sort of like neutral body, and then like imagining that there's a clock, like a, you know, like a traditional clock, and you like sort of like move your hips, like your that chakra or whatever, you move around in a circle from like 12, 1, 2, slowly, and then you do it the other way, and you just take it like it's 2 minutes or something like that, and you just breathe through it.
Yeah,
it like really causes whatever is spinning up in your head to just slow down.
Yeah,
and I think that with grief, sometimes you get there are multiple things happening at the same time, right? Like you have the very real emotion, then you have like an intellectualization of the emotion that you're trying to put on top of it. You're trying to contextualize, you're trying to like, just, I mean, even in the question, like, you know, we're trying to figure out how to make it better. And there's nothing that makes it better.
Right.
It is just like the ocean, like the world, like all of life, like meditation, like breathing.
Yes.
It's just a part of what we experience.
Yes.
And like, so the only thing you can do is move and continue to move through it. And that's all I have to say. And like, allow it to just come up when it comes up. And I saw Larry yesterday, Kate's husband.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we had coffee. He was in the city for something, and we just had coffee for a minute. And like, he's really doing such a great job at that thing, like moving through it. Like he cried a couple times while we were talking, but was also talking about his plans and what he's looking forward to. And like, you know, it was actually very, it made me feel really good and like proud of him.
I think Busy was nice enough to loan me her car so that I could leave New York to also go to my cheerleading coach, who was such an important person in my life. Her husband passed away very suddenly.
And they were actually at your mom's memorial.
They had just been at my mom's memorial. Yeah. So I had seen them both, and not just that, but also like lived near where my mom lived, and so many offers to help clear out her things. And, you know, that's just the kind of people that they were. And it was so sudden, and it was really interesting to me the way Jeannie, who was my cheer coach, but also I was a nanny to her children and their housekeeper because I needed a job when I was a kid, and they knew Matt when we were first dating because that's just how they were. You need a job, we'll figure out a job that you can do for us. You need a place to like. That was the first place where we were like invited into someone's home, almost like we were adults, even though she knew me since I was like 13 or whatever. And they had already lost one of their children because he had muscular dystrophy and just lived with that his whole life. And so, you know, this was really tough because of the way that Jeannie and Joel, her husband, were. They had so many plans. They just loved life. And Jeannie was talking about how they just went to a wine tasting and they had decided their next big trip was going to be to go to Spain. And they were just getting to this point in their life where they, you know, had sold their business and they had all these plans. And it was really interesting to me, the facility and this is not to say, like, I'm sure they're just overwhelmed and upside down in their family like you are when anything like this happens, whether it's a person or a pet or whatever. It just takes, I think Padma Lakshmi said it took her 2 years to even know which end was up after her grandmother died. And I don't disagree, but I was amazed with how Jean said, I said, how are you doing? And she said, well, you know, I'm angry. Like, I'm so angry because I didn't even get a chance to try to do anything because it was so sudden. Like, I can't even say that I tried anything because it was already over by the time I knew it was happening. So that but to identify that anger, but then also in the same breath, she was saying, and I'm so sad because we just had made plans. We had just decided oh, let's make a trip to Spain. It'll be so fantastic. And then also she was like, but I'm going to come see you. I'm going to come see you in Los Angeles and you're going to show me the Hollywood lifestyle, which is so funny because I was like, oh, it's a lot of sitting around my house and maybe we'll have a barbecue. But she was like, I'm going to come see you. She just immediately started making different plans, not the plans that she had just 2 weeks ago, you know, but that made me hopeful for her because I was like, she's not inherently changing the type of person that she is, you know? And I think that's so important because I think sometimes when you lose anything in your life, a person or a pet, or even sometimes not even lose a person, but someone moves out of your life. I think a lot of times there's a second where you're like, who am I without this?
Yes.
Because I poured so much into it and I've been so much about this that who am I without this? I might not even know. And I think like that's probably pretty normal, and that might be how you're feeling. If you lost someone or if you're apart from someone, human or otherwise. But I guess it's a good time and you're totally allowed to like stop and figure that out. But also if you still know, if there's no doubt about who you are, if you're exactly the same as you were, there's no shame in like making new plans immediately to do what you have to do. Because like, here's what I always think, and especially in the case of a dog, when you bring a pet into your life, you automatically know, from the jump that you're in for heartbreak at some point. You know, as much as you don't want to think about it.
Gina's sitting right there.
I know Gina's listening. She knows too. You automatically know that the chances are that if things go the way they're supposed to go, you're probably gonna have a longer lifespan than this pet. And so you're gonna see them through all the stages of your life. And just like you were saying, Busy, like the unconditional, joyful love that a pet usually gives us, I just always think like that dog would be like, you're still here, go play. Go.
Oh my God. But that's the thing. Like, that's what Larry and I were talking about yesterday. Like, even with Kate, like, I think about that a lot with Kate. Like, you know, she said this thing, like, I feel like I'm at a really fun dinner party and I'm being told I have to leave early.
Right.
So stay and have fun.
Yeah.
So stay and fucking enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'm sad that she's not getting to do that. And you're sad that your little buddy isn't there next to you at night. It's so painful. But I also do think like we only get this minute. It's such a short moment in time that we're here. So feel it, move through it, allow yourself to cry. Don't feel embarrassed by it or like that you should be feeling a different way at a certain point. There's nothing to say.
Should. Don't should yourself.
Don't should yourself.
As they say.
And then maybe you'll see if you feel like maybe letting another pet into your life at some point. I mean, listen, you know that Gina's was a very unexpected situation in my life. I was not expecting this person to come into my life.
And maybe if you're not ready, you can like find a local rescue and you can
foster.
You can foster, or you can like volunteer at adoption events and, you know, maybe like channeling some effort into making people as happy as you were with your pet would be therapeutic for you. If that's something that you're interested in doing and feel like you could manage it. Like maybe that would, you know, that could potentially light a whole new passion in you. And it would all be inspired by your little buddy.
Okay, wait. I knew that there was just this article in the Atlantic. It's Why a Dog's Death Hit So Hard by Tommy Tomlinson. And the quote, here's a quote from him. When we mourn a dog, we mourn a life we often witnessed in full and a source of something close to unadulterated good. When we mourn a human, even ones we love deeply, our emotions are much messier. It's really interesting.
Huh. That sounds like a good read.
I know. So that's in the Atlantic. And maybe
you can look back.
Maybe you can look that up. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/busy and get on your way to being your best self. Ugh, guys, you know how we feel.
We are huge advocates of therapy.
Yes.
And it's hard, right? Because it's hard to make that decision for yourself. It's daunting.
It's hard to know where to start.
Right.
I think for a lot of people, that's what I hear.
Right.
I think I need a therapist. I think I need a new therapist. I think the therapist I've been seeing isn't working for me anymore. I want to switch. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to find someone new. I don't even know how to find a therapist, period. Full stop. Well, here's what I'm going to say. If you're thinking about it, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient and flexible and suited to your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. It's helpful for learning all kinds of things, positive coping skills, how to set boundaries, how to be the best version of yourself. Therapy is not just for someone that's experienced major trauma, although let's be real, we've all experienced some trauma. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of comparing yourself to what others have. You can start living your best life.
Right.
Maybe you're having some relationship stuff. Maybe you're trying to find a partner. Maybe you're in a position in your life where you're like, I don't know if I'm doing the thing that I want to do with my life. But is it too late to change? I don't know. I don't know what's happening for you. All I do know is that therapy is so helpful in allowing you the space and time to focus on yourself and have somebody who is like dedicated to listening to you and offering ways that you can move through these things, whether you're in crisis or not. And sometimes my therapy is most helpful when I'm not in crisis.
100%.
Like it's not, when I'm like in a period of time that is very chill and happy, I don't stop going to therapy.
Right.
That's when it's the best.
You're doing the work.
That's literally what doing the work is. Yes. Right. Guys, stop comparing, start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/busy today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/busy. Oh, I really miss my magic spoon. Oh, I really miss my magic spoon.
I have to make a video, Busy. I'm not kidding you. My magic spoon library is
full.
It's incredible. I got every flavor of magic spoon the last time I went grocery shopping, which I should have ordered it online with our code. But
seems weird that you didn't, but okay.
But I've already used our code, so that, here's the thing. I'm like Belle in Beauty and the Beast in her library, but mine's magic spoon. Like I just have I could just twirl around and sing about it. Every flavor. I have every flavor.
Okay, what's your favorite currently?
I still like the fruity the best, but I've been really grooving on this box of like chocolate chip cookie.
I actually was just going to our link right now because I kind of want to order some more.
Yeah. And my husband is like, you can buy this special gift pack that comes with like a number of boxes of cereals, but it also has like a sparkly bowl and a spoon.
Excuse me?
My husband really wants that sparkly spoon and bowl.
Wow. You know what's also funny? The nutritionist that I've worked with before, Kelly Levesque.
Yeah.
She's on their website.
All right, Kelly.
And so honestly, guys, I'm not even kidding you. If my nutritionist, Kelly Levesque, is promoting it,
you're a believer.
Yeah, 100%. Also, I'm a person who loves to eat cereal.
You love cereal.
I love cereal.
I also love a cereal moment. It brings me right back to my childhood, which is a place where I need to be these days. And I feel like instead of having like ice cream at night before bed, I'm having a little bowl of Magic Spoon, happy as can be.
It's high protein and less sugar. Like, so if you're a person who's like, I drink protein shakes, I use like protein powder, whatever, this is like perfect because you don't have to do that anymore.
Right.
You can have crunch. You can have the crunch. The variety pack has 4 flavors. The 4 flavors are cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter.
All amazing.
0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, 4 to 5 grams of net carbs, only 140 calories a serving. It is high protein, 0 grams of sugar, keto friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free. Get into it. Guys, you can have your cereal and feel good about it.
You can have your cereal and eat it too.
Oh, wait, that's actually the expression. Right. You can... You can have your cereal and eat it too. Guys, go to magicspoon.com/busy to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code BUSY at the checkout to save $5 off your order. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product. It's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't like it for any reason, they're going to refund your money. No questions asked. Remember, start your day off right with a delicious bowl of high-protein cereal at magicspoon.com/busy and use code BUSY to save $5 off. And by the way, you can start your day off right. You can end your day right. You can have that Magic Spoon in the middle of the day. You can have that Magic Spoon anytime you want.
Anytime. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode. And thank you for making delicious cereal. All right. Are you ready for another question?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, ladies, here's my issue. My husband's mother is 80, retired, no-ish hobbies. She is obsessed with her grandson, our only child, who is 10. She lives in town and we see her weekly. Never enough for her. She sends photos of our son as baby, toddler, little kid constantly. Like she looks through her pictures all the time and resends these photos all the time, multiple times a week, and expects a response. I'm one of those people who does not love looking back at photos, always moving forward and looking towards the future.
Well, maybe we need to unpack that. Okay.
She said things make me sad that we're not in that time anymore. So I get that she's putting her finger on why that's I can identify with that.
I do too.
Yes, he is so cute, but I'm sick of it. Do I just ignore, clip one of those heart emojis and call it a day? Just a busy mom living in the present?
Yes.
Help.
Yes. That's exactly what you do. I'm sorry. It's exactly what you do. You just, first of all, I hear you.
Yeah.
And
I have told you this story before, Busy. When we lived in Connecticut, we had this one. I love all old photos of my kids, but also we had this photo of little Lincoln hanging in the stairwell. Many photos of all our kids, but this one particular photo, I had to turn my face away from it every time because it just got me. Something about it got me. And it would have been smarter to just take the photo down.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, Caissie.
Instead of endangering my life by not being able to make eye contact with it, I don't know why it just like made me so melancholy every time I saw it. But anyway, so I identify with like there are certain things that are just like revisiting them is maybe too tender and especially every day. But it sounds to me like I get it. My mom was like this. My mom would love to like, she would make the guy sit with her or on the phone and she would just like talk about little things that they said when they were kids and like little funny things that they said. And it was often like the same stuff over and over.
Yeah.
And, and like there was a time, poor Lincoln. I've been thinking about it so much because by now the cicadas have probably emerged and you probably have cicadas happening.
Yes.
So like 17 years ago was the last cicada invasion and Lincoln was 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And every time he heard that noise that the cicadas would make, he would like put his arms up to the heavens and scream, cicadas, because that noise was like making him lose his mind. And my mom literally mentioned it every time she talked to my son for the past 17 years.
It's pretty funny. It is pretty funny. I'm into it. Look, here's what I would say. I would say that like the only way through is compassion and empathy. And it seems like she maybe could use a hobby or some friends or, and it sounds like she's lonely.
Yeah.
And I know you're like, I know, but also it's fucking annoying to me. And I get it. I do get it because family, it's so hard.
Yeah.
To sometimes to be able to really dig deep for that like compassion when it's family.
Yeah.
But that's the most important. Those are the most important people you have to like find empathy and compassion for.
Yeah.
And to answer your question practically, yes. You just heart emoji, laughing face emoji, That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Just an acknowledgement, just a laughing face or a happy face or heart eyes. Change it up. You know what I mean? But that's what she needs to do. And then on another track, unrelated, maybe there's something that you or your partner could do to help her to maybe not feel so isolated and lonely. Because that's like what it sounds like to me, like a person who's just sitting there going through old photos all the time, like looking back at her life. And also, I want to say, like, the pandemic has been hard, especially for senior citizens.
Yeah.
It's hard for kids, and it was really hard for senior citizens.
Yeah.
And, just talking to Mark's mom, and, my heart really breaks for her because she felt like, and she does, rightfully feels like a chunk of what was supposed to be like their golden years was just taken away from them, and now Arnie's gone,
Right.
So if there's in a different way, a way to help her engage, if there's something you can think of, or help her to, I don't know if it doesn't say what your 10-year-old is like or what your 10-year-old is into.
Right.
But we helped to figure out what our kids liked to do with their grandparents, which is like different for both. But for Cricket, who's 10, so I'll just speak to that, it's board games.
Yeah.
Like Cricket literally will FaceTime my mom and play board games.
Yeah.
With her.
Oh, I love that.
It's cute. And so my mom is in her house with her Clue game out, that's complicated. It's complicated to play games across the FaceTime, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's like kind of funny and fun.
Well, that's the fun thing. Yeah. I know that's exactly what I would say. And also, like, I kind of think, I don't know if you said your kid's 10, if they have a phone or whatever, or email
or an iPad,
like, they're not too young, I don't think, to just sort of communicate independently. My kids always played Words with Friends with my mom.
I was going to say, like, any kind of, like, that's actually exactly that too.
Yeah.
Cricket will text because she has a phone for the bus and stuff. Cricket will text her grandparents now, and they love it. It's like the cutest, best thing. Birdie's not as communicative. I'm just going to be honest.
Sure, because everybody's different. And I also think that, well, here's what I'll say from recent experience. Like, my kids communicated with my mom all the time via text because they were older, but this had been ongoing. They emailed her, and so there was a fair amount of her reminiscing about them being little kids, because if you think that life is going by fast, imagine what it's like when you're 60, 70, 80 years old, how fast it starts to feel. And so they were respectful of that, even though they were like, haha, I'm not a baby anymore, even though she wanted to relive those moments. But they kind of took it on themselves to, like, let her get to know them as more grown people, because I think the fear was that they were going to get to an age where they didn't care about their grandmother anymore. And so I think they did take on the responsibility to, like, let her know, no, we're always going to care about you. And even though they did communicate with her throughout her life, when she did pass, that was the biggest regret that they both expressed, is that they didn't talk to her even more. And so,
but I think that what you said is a really good point. Like, she's remembering all these times when the kid was little and engaged with her.
Right.
And so maybe what you can help cultivate, and I know it's hard with preteens and teenagers, it's harder for us. It is harder for me with Birdie to get her kind of, like, engaged with her grandparents. Not that she doesn't love them. She does.
It's just how
how she is. Yeah. but finding a shared, so for Birdie, it's TV shows she can talk about.
Right.
So it's like telling my mom, oh, Birdie's watching this show, Ragnarok. Okay, right? So then they like both were watching Ragnarok.
Right.
And then they could talk about it.
Right.
With Cricket, it's playing board games. I think my personal opinion is you suck it up and just heart those things. And I'm sorry. Don't even look at them. You know what I mean? Just heart them and move on with your day. But in another way, I think you need to help your kid and their grandma, your mother-in-law, to have like a different kind of relationship. One that isn't just like, we see you once a week and we go to dinner. You come over for dinner. We go over to your house and it's fucking boring for everybody.
Right.
Especially for the kid.
Right.
But like trying to help your kid have a relationship at this age.
Yeah.
Based on what they're interested in. Maybe, honestly, does your kid game? Maybe you got to teach grandma how to game.
Exactly. Something.
Gaming's really good for hand-eye coordination and keeps you sharp. I'm just saying, old people.
And it's also good for your kid to realize that like sometimes you have to find a common ground with someone who's important in your life and make the effort. So like, to be honest, this is bad, but honest parenting. Sometimes when my kids would be like talking to me about something that they were working on and I was focused otherwise, like I'm working on this art project and I've been trying to make this Marvel shield and I've been out in the garage making this paper. I'd be like, oh my God, that's so excellent. You should text your Grammy a picture of that and like pawn it off onto my mom, you know? Like, take it to Grammy. She will be dazzled by your efforts.
I love that.
So, I mean, I just think it's a good skill for everyone to learn. But here's what I will say. In the final analysis, and we've been talking a lot about loss or whatever, this woman, your husband's mom, and your husband, by the way, should be taking some responsibility in this whole practice as well.
Mm-hmm.
But in the final analysis, people aren't going to be here forever. And I've never heard anyone say, boy, I really wish I didn't waste so much time being in touch with that person in my life.
No, said no one ever.
Right.
I mean, unless they were toxic.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's what I think.
Good luck to you.
Good luck. And
luck to
yeah. Okay. So the next question is anonymous.
Mm. You know who's obsessed with the Athena Club razors?
Who?
My child.
Really?
My teenager. Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
And also it makes me feel like it's cool.
Yeah.
Like if we've got the teens, honey,
we've got it.
We've got everything.
The youth vote.
Yeah. I know you've probably heard about Athena Club by now, but this is your official sign to try it because it's cool enough for my kid. And me.
And it's very cool.
Well, Athena Club's award-winning TikTok viral razor kit.
There you
Very
go.
clearly why my teenager is obsessed.
Yeah.
It's worth all the hype. You need to try it to believe it. First of all, the razors glide so effortlessly thanks to 5 precision-engineered blades. There is a very super moisturizing water-activated serum with hyaluronic acid. Plus, it has built-in skin guards to help prevent razor burn, reduce irritation, and like prevent cuts, as I am prone to with every razor I've ever used, except for this one.
Yeah.
You're going to feel the softest you've ever felt after just one swipe. And also, we need to mention the price. The Athena Club razor kit is a steal at just $10. Don't let the price fool you. The razor feels expensive.
It looks expensive.
It comes with that ergonomic handle. It's super cute. It has 2 very sharp razor heads that deliver an incredibly smooth shave every time. And you get the magnetic hook.
Which for me, that's everything.
That's everything because it means you don't have to worry about your razor on the shower floor. There's no goopy blades. It's not sitting in a pool of
rusting.
Schmuck. And it's just like cute. It looks cute.
Yeah.
It looks cute. It's cute.
And it works so well. And is there anything better in the summer than getting into the fresh sheets of your bed with freshly shaved legs.
No.
There's nothing better.
No. I just feel like I've never had as good of a shave as I get with this Athena Club razor. I love it.
Yeah.
I really love it. Are you guys ready to upgrade your shaving experience? Switch to the best razor on the market and show your skin that you care with Athena Club. Head on over to athenaclub.com to try their award-winning razor and body products and get 20% off your purchase with code BUSY at the checkout. You can also find Athena Club razors at your local Target store, but you're not going to get the 20% off unless you use BUSY at checkout at athenaclub.com.
Join the club.
Trust me, you're not going to look back. Happy shaving. Oh, I love this Beam Dream. I do. I love Beam's Dream Powder, guys.
Everyone in my family is obsessed with Beam
It's
Dream
so
Powder.
good. Basically, it's a science-backed, healthy hot cocoa to help you go to sleep. It's been a game changer for me. I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. It's really fantastic. You make it, it's delicious.
It really
It's
is
really
delicious.
good. And it's like you have this little cup of hot cocoa. I want like a little chocolatey treat.
Yeah.
A little nice treat.
To send you off.
To send me off to sleep. And our listeners are going to get a special discount on Beam's Dream Powder, which is the science-backed healthy hot cocoa for sleep with no added sugar. Better sleep has never tasted better. It comes in delicious flavors like chocolate peanut butter, cinnamon cocoa,
So good.
sea salt caramel, only 15 calories, 0 grams of sugar. It's delicious. Other problems I've had with sleep aids that I've taken, I just feel groggy the next day.
Right.
I have a hard time waking up. But Dream contains a very powerful all-natural blend of reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, melatonin, and nano CBD to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed.
All good stuff.
The numbers don't lie, guys. In a clinical study, 93% of participants reported Dream helped them to get better sleep. I do want to just say one thing my physical therapist, who I really trust implicitly here in Los Angeles, and I saw him yesterday, said to me, is that the number one thing we should all be taking is magnesium.
Yes.
And Beam's Dream Powder gives us that magnesium that we need every day at the end of the day and helps us reset our muscles and helps us sleep and rest and really, really, really rest. Find out why. Forbes and the New York Times are all talking about Beam, why it's trusted by the world's top athletes and business professionals. If you want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder and get up to 40% off for a limited time, go to shopbeam.com/busy and use code BUSY at the checkout. That's shopbeam, BEAM.com/busy and use code BUSY for up to 40% off.
Hi, favorite humans I've never met.
Oh, I like that. That's really nice.
My question is, my 14.5-year marriage is looking like it's on its last legs, and my husband says he's moving out, although he hasn't said when. We have 2 daughters, 9 and 11, and I just wondered, Busy, do you have anything you learned in your separation process that you think would help in this transition? Advice on how to talk to our children? Caissie, I know you lived through this, so you have that perspective too, what to do or not to do. Really hope to keep things as steady for the kids as possible, other than therapy for everyone.
Yes, therapy for everyone is so key. And also, making sure that you try to center their experience as much as possible, I think is important. And remembering that you and your ex-husband can fight in therapy. You can fight if you need to when there are no children around, but to try to keep it sort of as calm and unchaotic as possible. It doesn't actually sound very chaotic. It sounds sad.
Yeah, like you're being thoughtful.
And the best thing that I can say is a thing from therapy, which is like, it's okay for your kids to know you're sad about it. And that this wasn't the expectation that you had for how this family was gonna look, but that families look all different kinds of ways, and that you guys will all figure out a new normal together, and that the most important thing is that the love that you have for the kids together will never change. That piece will never change. And, and then you just have to kind of take it like as it comes, I think, because everybody's different. All kids are different and everyone's reaction and even your own reaction, like just be aware. I just had a conversation with a friend who's going through a similar situation and who's the one doing the leaving. And I said, I was very wholly unprepared for how upset I would be when Mark fell in love with somebody else, which happened, and I was like shocked.
Yeah.
It really took me by surprise.
Yeah.
How angry and upset and like what all the things it brought up for me.
Right.
And
even though you thought that part was done.
Totally. I thought it was cooked.
Yeah.
And it was.
Right.
And also, there were other things that came up for me in that moment when he really moved on.
Yeah.
And I was surprised by it. And I felt like, why did nobody tell me that this could happen?
Yeah.
That's why I'm sharing it with you.
Yeah.
But also like, you have to like give yourself space and grace in that you're going to feel a bunch of different ways. And that's okay,
Yeah.
Because nobody goes into a marriage, a partnership and having children with somebody thinking it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
That's just, we know this.
Yeah.
We all are hoping for the best.
Yeah.
And I think if you have like a great couples therapist, a family therapist, and someone that can really help, then you just have to be, the truth is you just have to be as age appropriately honest with your children as possible.
Right.
And if you have any questions about that, ask your therapist, like what is age appropriate?
Yeah. And I think like it sounds like you're already so aware. Here's what I wish from a kid whose parents were divorced. Yes, I wish my parents had been more honest with me because they just were, they did the cats on the roof kind of thing. We're just getting separated. It doesn't mean anything. And, and so like giving me hope that there was a chance that they were going to get back together, even though if at that age I had been able to consider things rationally, I would have known like, that's not the best thing for my parents to be together. This is what's best. But that being said, they could have been more honest with me. When I say like aware, like all feelings are normal. And as Busy was saying, give yourself space. That includes like if you have angry feelings or hurt feelings and like your kid is spending time away from you with your spouse, that's going to be like maybe like an anxious time for them. It might be like a joyful time for them. I know a lot of times like dads get to become like the fun guy.
And this is from experience with other divorced friends of mine. This wasn't necessarily my experience, but they were like, oh, now this man is the thing that I had wanted him to be the whole time with the kids. And like, he's like so engaged. Honestly, you got to work through that yourself. Like that's your own thing.
And you have to do it. You can't like make your kids pay for your feelings. When they come home and they're happy because they went to a water park with dad, you can't be like, oh, that's interesting because I used to ask him every fucking summer to take you to the water park and he never did. But it's great that he took you now. That's so fun. I'm glad you had such a good time. Right.
Guys,
right.
Don't do that.
Don't do that because it's just like you just can't. So I think like try to be aware of your feelings and like if you have negative feelings, working those out on your own, not like, well, the kids love to say trauma dumping, but don't trauma dump on your kids when they're living a different experience than you're living. They can live without your review of the changes in their dad and because they'll grow up eventually and probably know the whole truth of everything or, when they're ready. But like right now it's just too hard and it puts them in the middle and it puts them in a position that they're just not emotionally mature enough to handle. And it's none of their business, honestly. Like which is weird because they're in your family too. But that's just something that I wish my parents hadn't used me as like a little bit of a pawn in their hurt feelings toward each other. And they literally could not resist it. And it made life not very fun for a kid my age. And I got to be honest, right up through my adulthood, it made every single thing awkward. Everything that should have been great, weddings, graduations, births, birthday parties, it was all awkward because my parents still had hurt feelings fucking 40 years later.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's kind of wild because they were married only for 10 years. So I'm like,
how did the hurt feelings carry for so much longer?
Last longer, 4
Right.
times the length of the marriage, so that's my
it does
advice.
feel, yeah. Do your work and like, and be gentle with yourself.
All right. This is an interesting question. It is also anonymous. My live-in long-term boyfriend of 5 years cheated on me for 4 months last year. We've gone to couples therapy and are still together. My question is this: when I get upset with him for anything,
Yes.
my base reaction is to go back and tie it to the cheating.
Yes, of course.
I know this isn't fair or productive. How do I move past this gut reaction? It's like I can't seem to actually forgive him.
Yeah. Well, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. I mean, this is where I'm like, this to me feels like you got to go do some other, I don't know. You got to go do some other work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, because it's like a betrayal of trust, right? And it sounds like he hasn't earned your trust back. And I'm going to be honest, like, maybe he has done all the work, and like in a perfect situation, he should have earned your trust back. But that's the thing, is that like nobody gets to say what's right for the other person. So it doesn't, in a way, it kind of doesn't matter how much he's done, if he has done anything to move past it. Because if you're not ready to forgive, then you're not ready. And so no amount, the fact that you're saying like that it's still this deeply wounding thing that you can't get past maybe means that, like, I don't know, maybe he hasn't done enough, or maybe he never would be able to do enough for you. I don't know. It's like everything else we've been talking about grieving and, you're grieving something. You're grieving the idea of this thing that wasn't what you thought.
And wait, can I see the thing again?
Yeah,
sometimes I have to read things. I would say this feels like a good thing to, like, it feels like a couple things. I don't know. It feels like you could do Hoffman for the, like you could go to Hoffman.
Yeah.
Like go, or like some sort of therapy, like retreat type thing.
Right.
For yourself.
Right.
Because also, like, I think it's interesting to investigate for yourself what the anger is really about.
Right.
And there's not a ton of information in this email.
Right. So we're making a
lot of
assumptions.
Yes, assumptions. But, nothing happens in a vacuum. We know that.
Right.
And yeah, I think you need to like get real with what you really, in the core of it, think your anger is going to do. And what it's about.
Right.
And is it even about him?
Right. And I think you have to also figure out what was going on with him and what his possible reasoning. Does he give any reason for why he was doing this thing that was out of character, or was it out of character?
Or was it out of character? Right.
And
like what things is he addressing in terms of that was the way that he chose to channel
whatever was going on with him. And you have to say, like, you have to decide, can you accept that?
Yeah.
And can you accept that? Was there a thing that he was trying to address by going outside of your relationship? And is it a valid thing? And is he doing the work to actually address that thing now? And can you accept it?
Right.
It's almost like, here's what I will say. And cheating is not an issue that I've had in my marriage. But I certainly have dated people who have cheated in the past. But what I'm saying is, like, in a long-term relationship, in the scheme of things, cheating hasn't been an issue for us. But we have had issues, which I have talked about on the podcast before. And like relationship endangering issues, like maybe want to pull the plug and call it, you know? It's almost like to me, like you might have to start over from scratch with who the new people that you both are going forward after this seismic event in your relationship, and see if those two people can love each other.
And it really is a moment that calls for radical honesty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the only way you're able to move forward, I think, is literally like radical honesty with one another.
Yeah. And I also just want to say, by the way, I'm sorry this happened. It's
a bummer
to have your trust betrayed. And now you have all these like homework assignments in front of you that you didn't sign on for, regardless of, you know, whatever anyone's reasons were. It sounds like it was unexpected and it sucks. And I'm sorry. And, you know, I hope that you can repair it. But what I do believe is that no matter what happens, whether you decide that you can talk about the new people that you are and forgive and rebuild, or whether you decide this isn't going to work, I do know that you're going to be okay. I think you're going to be okay. And I think you're going to be smarter and stronger and know so much more about yourself and who you are. And so that's a good thing, even though I'm sure it does not feel like it right now.
No. But also just know that you're like Caissie said, there's no, like, you're held. You're going to be okay. You know, the universe is going to it'll be okay. As long as you can get in touch with what your truth is in it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck. We love you.
We love you.
Well, we got to a lot of good questions. Should we answer some more next week?
Let's answer more next week.
Okay, guys, we hope you're having a great summer.
We hope your summer's so fun.
We love talking to you from the past.
Honey, I'm glad to be in the future. Just keep moving forward.
And we'll talk to you next week and answer more of your questions.
Yay. Bye. Oh no.